Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about red flags that are specific to women that men need to watch out for when it comes to first dates. I believe this is an interesting topic to talk about because men and women are kind of different and there are different expectations when it comes to first dates and stuff like that. So I believe that it's important to point out the things that men should be looking out for when it comes to this first date. So just avoid getting yourself into a situation that looks messy from the get-go. So if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Profit and I'm a relationship coach. I basically help people build healthy relationship. And it's my desire to also help you build a healthy relationship and avoid red flags before the relationship starts. So do well to subscribe to my channel if this is the kind of content you like, and also hit the notification button so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. Share this video and also like it. Let's dive into today's video without wasting much of our time. The first red flag I want you to watch out for as a man is her lack of effort. I think for me, this is like a build up to the date. This even starts like way before the date, way before the very D-Day we are going on the date. How is her interaction with you? Are you just the one carrying the conversation? Are you just the one always texting first, calling first, and she's just on a relaxed mode, receiving, receiving, receiving? See, I am a big subscriber to a man taking the lead, showing interest, carrying the conversation and everything at the initial time when you start talking for the first time. Because at that point, the guy is the one reaching out to the lady. She doesn't know him from anywhere, so she's probably still skeptical, not so sure. So, as a man, you're supposed to take the lead until you get her to a point where both of you feel comfortable with each other. So, at that point, when both of you feel comfortable with each other, there's some level of reciprocity that is supposed to come from her end. That is what it's supposed to be, because at that point, she's also now showing interest that she wants to meet you, that she wants to go out with you, she wants to get to know you more. But if you're not getting that vibe that she's actually into you to some degree, personally, I would say don't even plan a date or you don't even go for the date, because it's already a sign that she's not into you. A woman who is into you, based on what I've noticed about women as a relationship coach, they always make an effort towards the guys they like. They are always initiating conversation. They will call you, they will test you, they will want to know how you're doing. That's just how they are, because they are interested in you. So generally, as human beings, when we're interested in something, we tend to reach out to those things. We tend to reach out to those people. So if she's not reaching out to you, she's not making effort even before the date, I would advise you not to go for it. And also, when it now comes to the date itself, how is she taking the date? Is she coming there trying to get to know you as a person? Is she coming there and she isn't really answering your question? Or maybe even if she's answering your question, she's just answering and she's not asking you anything about yourself. It's also a lack of effort, a lack of interest in you, because there are some people, you ask them questions, they'll answer all the questions you ask them. What do you want to know about me? You ask them, they'll tell you, but then they'll never ask you any question in return. And even if they're asking you any question in return, they are probably just asking you the question you just asked them. They're not picking up anything like on their own to just get to know you. It's a sign that that person isn't really into you, and it's a red flag if you notice that from women. So if you're on a date and you're the one carrying the conversation, she's not making any effort to get to know you as a person, to get to know your personality, to get to know what you like, what you dislike, and stuff like that. She's not asking you questions that encourage conversations, and she's just on the receiving end taking the question and answering you, then that's a big red flag. Most times what this does is that after the date they'll tell you, oh, I'm not feeling the vibe, I don't think we should continue today. So what I'm trying to do right now is to save you from that. I'm not feeling the vibe. Don't even plan a date if she's not showing some level of reciprocity. The second red flag I believe you should be watchful about is if her attention is more on the location of the date or on how much is spent on the date. You need to be very careful, because yes, we are in the 21st century. We are in a world, this is 2025, where for some ladies, relationship is a poverty aversion scheme to them. For them, men are ATMs where you get money, you just slot in and then you get the money. It's not about getting to know you. So that's why they are just purely focused on how much is he spending on this date. Oh, does he have money? Does he do this? And also, where's the location of this date? If you notice that that's the intention, and most times you tend to discover this even before you go on the date, I want to let you know that that lady doesn't want to get to know you. She's more interested in the location. She's more interested in how much you're spending, more than how much she is interested in getting to know you as a person. See, the truth is that a woman who cares about you, a woman who is interested to get to know you, A woman who is even interested in a man before the man is even interested in her, she will go on a date anywhere as long as she gets the opportunity to spend time with that man. That's the truth. She will go on a date with you anywhere, whether it's a coffee date, a walk in the park, whatever it is. She will do it because she is more interested about spending time with you as a man, getting to know you, getting to see if you have that deep connection, if something can work out between both of you. That's her more that's what she's interested in. Not if you are taking her to a five-star restaurant or a chain restaurant or whatever they call it. So be careful and figure out if the thought pattern of this lady you are going out with is more on the money you have to spend on that date or the location of where you are going for on that date. It's a red flag. Yes, I said it. It's a red flag. Number three would be making negative remarks about men in general. I know there are a lot of people who are hot. I mean, men and women hurt each other. That's the truth about life right now. But then the difference between somebody who is healed and somebody who is still hurt is how they talk about the opposite gender. So if she's making negative comments about men, like men are scum, men are this, men are that, men are the problem, all those kind of things, you probably want to avoid that person because they are still not healed. See, I understand the fact that there are men who are bad, there are men who are toxic, there are women who are bad, there are women who are toxic. We acknowledge that. We are not all perfect. There are bad people, there are good people. We acknowledge that. But if somebody can't differentiate the fact that everybody is not the same, that there are still good people out there, that there are still nice people out there are still people out there looking to build healthy relationship and enjoy healthy marriages. If somebody cannot differentiate that, then it's a problem to be with that person because they are still hot. And the worst thing you want to do to yourself is to date somebody who is still hot, because hot people hurt others, or hurting people hurt others. However you want to put it, all I want you to know that is that people who are broken tends to break other people. So be very, very careful. So if they speak negatively about men, accuse men of being the problem and all those kind of things, then it's a red flag. Then the next one will be making belittling comments about what you do for work. I mean, you might be a CEO, you might be a lawyer, you might be a doctor. I mean, those of you in that category might not experience this, but if you are somebody who does like not the typical wealthy job that some people do, I really want you to pay attention to this one. If they make some remarks about what you do for a living, or even if they make some negative remarks about who you are as a person, they try to belittle you in any sense, and you notice it from their comment, it's a sign that that person is not the right one for you. That's a big red flag. You need to run. Like, you need to end the date the next 5 minutes and run away, because they will constantly make those remarks about you in the whole relationship if you end up together. So be very, very careful about this. If they are always picking what you're saying and try to belittle what you're saying, and you're even situations where you're expressing yourself and they're trying to water it down, you need to be careful. People who go all out to water what you are saying down are dangerous people to deal with, because they will gaslight you. They will make you feel like what you're feeling isn't relevant in the relationship. So it's a red flag. So if they're able to show you that sign earlier on during the dates, then it's a sign that when you finally get into a relationship, it will be a serious problem. So I want you to be very, very careful about that. The other thing we'll be talking about today is lack of accountability and blaming everybody else. In our generation today, accountability is kryptonite to a lot of people. They don't want to take accountability for anything. They make bad choices. They are the ones that do all the things, but then they are never the problem. It's always the men, it's always the women, it's always somebody else's fault. They are never taking accountability for what they did wrong, or even if they are not the one at fault, for the part they played in it. So you need to be very, very watchful about how they talk about the events of their life. I guess you're on a date to get to know each other, right? So conversations will go on about things that happened in your life, situations, probably ask each other questions. Then pay attention. I'm not saying you should isolate one event. No, that's not what I'm suggesting. Because most times, if you isolate one event, they might be true. It might be true that they were not the problem. But if you notice a pattern, so if you notice a pattern in the conversation that you bring up A, it's the other person. You bring up B, it's another person. You bring up C, it's another person. And almost every conversation you're having on that very date has to do with other people being the problem. Then you need to run. Because in that relationship, they will never take accountability for what they did wrong. You will offend them, you will apologize. They will offend them, you will apologize. There are people that way, right? They are never wrong. They always find a way to spin things around till it becomes your fault. So you don't want to deal with that kind of woman in the first place. So watch out for the pattern. So everything I'm talking about today, I'm trying to ensure that I don't make it look like it's a one-off event. Look for patterns. That's what you are looking for, patterns. Because something can happen once and it might be it just happened. You get it might just be something that happened. You can't really control that. I mean, we're not perfect because you're meeting somebody for the first time. You probably are nervous and all those kind. So something can happen, and it's just a one-off thing. And I don't want you to judge people based on one-off events. So it's very important that you watch the patterns, watch the consistency of how things are happening, on how they do that kind of thing. If you see the pattern developing, if you see that this thing is constant, then that will let you know that, oh, this is not just a one-off thing. This is how this person is. So like I talked about in the beginning, if they're not showing effort and you see there's a pattern of them not making effort, there's a pattern of them not calling, there's a pattern of them not texting, there's a pattern of them just waiting to be treated well but never ever treat you well on the other end. If there's a pattern of them always thinking about, oh, where's the date going to happen? How much are you planning to spend? Or if there's a pattern of them also making negative comments about men or belittling your conversation, then those are red flags that you need to be watchful and run for your life, because it will not end well if you end up in a relationship. So I hope that you have learned from this video today. Check out the two videos that were popping up on your screen, one here and one here. This one here will be talking about general red flags you need to be watchful about, and this other one will be talking about red flags that are specific to men that women need to watch about. Yes, I got women covered too. So I'm not biased. I like balancing out things. So if you're watching this and you're enjoying it, do well to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button so that you'll be notified. Like this video and share with your friends, because I believe that these red flags will help so many people to avoid getting into a relationship with people who don't actually like them. You understand what I'm saying? All right, guys. See you guys in the next video. Bye.